So Roxy, tell me some good moments in real estate.
Definitely. So over the last few years, the best moments that I've had in real estate is working harder every single day. When we achieve that deal as a team, it brings so much happiness. And Mitch, how about you? What's your best moment in real estate been?
Oh, there has been so many over 16 years. There's a lot of properties that we've been into that they've been in the same house for 60 plus years. It's really emotional. You know, the whole family's involved. It's beautiful. Like you really feel, good inside with that sort of deal. But if I bring it back to a money side of things, we had a property that had a reserve of 2.1 million at auction. Incredible family, lovely people. We were able to sell it at auction, unconditional, for $2.5 million. So that was $400,000 extra that they got for their home. Now she's started her home business, quit a job. Business is flying. Like, it gives me goosebumps now chatting about it. Like, you've really helped someone, really excel their whole lifestyle from, how you handle their wholesale campaign. And, they were crying at auction. We had champagne afterwards. Like, it's a moment that you just never forget.
For sure. Like, it's super rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you've sort of changed her whole life, really.
Definitely. Yeah. They'll never be the same now when, they're in a beautiful house again and they've got the home business.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got $400,000 more.
Great. But it doesn't always come down to the money side. But I think if you tap into it, it's the emotional side.
Definitely.
They're the moments that you sort of really cherish. And, yes, money's important, but those emotional moments of just, you feel like a great person.
Definitely.
So, Roxy, what's your first sale?
My first sale, I can still remember every single detail, Mitch.
Yeah.
So my first sale was actually a withdrawn listing in Indooroopilly. Funny enough, it was a block of units. They had it on the market in 2023.
Yep.
It was listed for 1.3 million. They obviously didn't get the price they wanted. So I called the owner. I said, look, what was the problem? Why didn't it sell? We got down to the whys and then we got down to the hows. Yeah. How we're going to get this property to sell, what we're going to do differently.
Tell me, what did you get for it though?
We got 1.698888.
Wow. How awesome is that?
Very
It's like $300 and something thousand more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
$300,000 more. And, the owner was stoked. He was an investor from Sydney.
Yeah.
He bought his property without seeing it.
Yes.
And then we obviously sold it while he was still in Sydney.
I do remember that one. And we also did a fair bit of work to the property to present it better.
We did.
So it comes back to what we talked about before. Presentation's so important.
We did. We did. So we actually renovated, as you know, Mitch, the whole kitchen in unit number 3 to really present it better. And I think that changed the whole perspective of the property.
Yeah, I'd agree totally.
Yeah. Also marketing it as, potential for development and whatnot really attracted a different pool of buyers.
So putting a bit bigger reach to it.
Yeah, exactly right. And Mitch, how about you? Do you even remember your first sale?
I do. It's one you won't forget. Like, I came from selling cars before houses, and one of the last cars I sold was $527,000.
Wow.
And the first house I sold was $495,000.
Yeah, wow.
And it was in Raintree Street in Mansfield.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was doing. I thought it was a withdrawn listing, but he actually bought it 12 months ago. And I just called him, and he was probably similar, sitting in Sydney.
Yeah.
Said, I'll sell it. And then, I did not know what I was doing. I knew how to sell, but I did not know how to present a property. There was tenants, all of those sort of things. And we sold it. It took us about 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And $495,000.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. I remember you, Mitch, telling me about a property that you sold that was a prize home.
Oh,
tell us about that.
One of the first Marta prize homes.
Yeah.
So it was called the Butterfly House. So, it like architecturally designed as a butterfly, and we marketed it quite extensively. We got it on Sunrise. We had an interview with Koshi. Mm-hmm. It was on the ABC radio. It was everywhere. It was the most viewed property in Australia for quite a number of weeks, and took it to auction on a Sunday morning, and it was great. There was probably 300 or 400 people at the auction.
Wow.
Didn't quite sell at auction, but sold, I think, the very next day.
Yeah, of course. That's awesome. And the fact that you can go on Sunrise with Place and, get a lot of courier mail exposure.
Yeah, so if you've got the right property and you can then sort of use that PR side of our business, we can get a lot more exposure.
Yeah, exactly. Which is also, really beneficial in presentation and marketing.
Yeah, and that probably sort of leads us into that marketing, doesn't it? Like if we market a property better, that's going to then drive price higher. It's going to attract more people and we're going to get a higher price.
Exactly. It's like almost like competition.
Yeah, create competition, create demand for the property, and that's going to create, a higher value at the end of the day.
Exactly, and a better outcome.
Yeah. Roxy, I want to chat about a bit of our off-market sort of deals. So our office did, I think it's Thursday today, and we've done 5 off-market deals this week for Placeable in the Gabba. That does seem like a high sort of number. And,
Sure.
Some of them have been significantly high sales. How do you feel our off-market works really well with, I guess, the industry or our competition?
Definitely. So obviously, Mitch, we've got the 18 offices and Placeful and Gabba ourselves, we've got about 40 agents.
Yeah.
So we've got a big database, a big pool of buyers.
I think we're one of the biggest databases on the south side, really.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got a massive pool of buyers. To sort of touch on that, Mitch, we actually are going through the process of an off-market at the moment.
Yeah.
It was on the market for quite a few months.
And 2 agents, I think,
and 2 agents.
2 agents, yeah.
2 agents. Called the vendor, said, look, we sold a property not too far away, same sort of property, same sort of house. We said, look, can we take them through? Ended up taking them through on the Tuesday. Got an offer from them on the Tuesday night.
Yeah. And I think that's a number that the owners want to take too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, like I said, it's that seamless process.
And what I like about our off-market is there's so much collaboration with the agents within the office.
Definitely.
So everyone would say, hey, does anyone have a buyer for this? I've got this type of property in this sort of area. Or, I've got a buyer looking for their first home. They've got $1 million to spend or whatever it might be. But there's a lot of banter, a lot of chatter within the office. And even on our sort of group chats, we can say, hey, look, we've got this off-market. Does anyone have any buyers? And then we all work together on getting the property sold.
Exactly. It's like a team effort.
Team effort, yeah. And
exactly.
I would say that does not exist with any other agency.
Definitely agree.
Yeah. Hey, Roxy, why have you chosen real estate for your career?
So I've chosen real estate for my career, Mitch, because I really see a lot of potential for growth in an industry like this. I really love working with buyers and sellers. You get to see them go from point A to point B and go through the whole journey with them. Seeing a vendor and seeing a buyer so happy and so exciting is so rewarding, and you get to see them find their dream home.
Yeah. And if I could add something to that, I always sort of find with you and with very few people, they're not, you're obsessed with real estate is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You live it, you breathe it. You're on the phone to me at 9:45 last night talking about a deal. Like, I really sort of see this industry is really sort of built for you. Your drive to achieve, really good prices for our owners. You can sort of see that sort of come in, your activity with a buyer, working with them, calling them Saturday afternoon after their open home. Like, these are really good characteristics that I see in an agent that I see in very few other people.
For sure. Like, I think the negotiation process, there's a bit of a, art to that. And when you do get a deal done, there's so much adrenaline that you start to feel, and nothing else can explain that.
It's like a buzz.
It's like a buzz.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself is one of the best reasons to be in this industry.
And so why do you think our owners list with us? Why do they choose us to be their agent?
I think a lot of owners choose us because we bring so much energy to the listing. That's one thing we can guarantee. We're going to go into the listing with so much energy, so much drive, and our goal is to get the best price and the best outcome for both the buyers and the sellers.
Yeah. And I think you've heard me say it a lot. One of my, ideas in real estate is I really want to help someone from where they are to where they want to be. Where are they going? What's the next house for them? Or is this the first house for them? Do they need a hand to help them through that whole sort of process? Like, it's just so good to be able to help people make that sort of big decision. Like, it's the biggest decision they make in their life, buying a house.
Of course, of course. And, you know, to touch on that, Mitch, even in the buying side, but from the selling side, it's their biggest, you know, their biggest asset.
Yeah.
And for someone, we want to get them the best outcome.
It's like tax-free dollars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And tying into that, I think our communication with the buyer, you know, is very important. And we seem to do that quite well. We're updating them, you know, when we're at the property, we're updating them after every open home. You know, we're keeping them in the loop throughout the whole process of the sale.
Yeah. Yep. One of the things I wanted to also chat about is, I guess, sort of our open home and us as a team. How do you sort of feel we work together as a sales team?
For sure. I think we work really well together because we've got two of us. You know, on a Saturday, we're calling on a Saturday afternoon.
Yep. Big thing.
100%. We're going to those buyers before any other agent calls them.
So we can sell it to them first before someone else does.
Exactly.
Another big thing.
Exactly. So we're front of mind on that Saturday afternoon after they've freshly looked at open homes. Another benefit is we both do buyer work.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't create, you know, any limitations whether a buyer has a preferred agent because we've got two different strategies and two different outlooks on, you know, how to get a buyer to purchase a property.
Yeah, and that male-female dynamic, you know, I find some buyers first reach out to you, you know, and then, you know, on the other side, there's a lot of people who will just reach out to me first and we will start that conversation. And like, one of the things I really like about this dynamic as well is that I can be inside or you're inside. We're working the buyers as they're going through the property, showing them the features, the benefits, why this is a great house. And then as they leave, then you or I get another shot at sort of chatting to them. And then we can identify if they are that serious buyer, if they are that really hot buyer in the market that we don't want to let go.
Exactly.
You know, we don't want to let it go any other property. We want that buyer to buy this property for the most amount of money.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's really important to capture that buyer at the property.
Yeah.
I feel if you have that conversation face to face rather than on the phone in the afternoon, it usually comes to the better outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's adding to that as well, like our negotiations. A lot, I would say nearly 90% of our negotiations are face-to-face with buyers and then face-to-face with sellers. It means that we are able to get them to make decisions straight away rather than having to call someone else. We can then get them to make, you know, better decisions, go away, think about it while we're sitting at the dining table. You know, it just works much better in your negotiation. So Roxy, what's that question we get asked the most? What's our home worth? What really should they be asking us?
They should be asking us, how do we get this house sold? What strategy do you want to use?
Yeah. And then how do we get the most amount of money for the house?
Exactly.
And that, I think that comes down into a couple of things. Presentation is the main aspect, isn't it? You know, if you've got a property that looks really good, or we can make it even look better. And then it comes down to how we market it. So that reach, how we get more people through the door. Because I think it's a simple equation. The more people we can have through your property that like it, that are emotionally connected to it, it's going to equal then what? More money.
Exactly. What do we say, Mitch? A good process equals a good price.
Process. That's the key, isn't it? Like, how do we go about doing it? Is it a pricing strategy? Is it an auction? Is it, you know, a tender sort of process? What's that strategy we suggest, commit to? And that's going to give us then the right result at the end of the day.
For sure. Like, I think a lot of, you know, people don't understand the importance of a good strategy.
Yeah.
Usually an agent will just suggest them, you know, the generic process.
Yeah.
And they instantly think, okay, they've given me a good appraisal price. This is going to equal a good price.
Yeah.
Without actually diving deep into the how, why, you know, the finer details.
And the amount of properties we take on after that first agent, because that owner actually chose that agent on the appraisal that they gave them rather than the process of sale. And then we come in after 90 days or 3 months, and then we still get a good price because it comes down to the process rather than, you know, the agent promising a price that they can certainly not deliver.
Definitely. Like, there's a lot of small things that are overlooked but are very important. And obviously, Mitch, you've been in the industry for 16 years now.
Yeah.
What has it been like for you?
Exciting. Exciting is definitely the right word to use. Like, I really get a big buzz out of helping people, through that journey in real estate. Like, it doesn't feel like a job for me. It's like a lifestyle. We have it really good. We go in our cars, we go to beautiful homes, we show them off. We're dealing with the public. They're, 90% of the time, they're fantastic to work with. New buyers, first home buyers, investors, even people growing their portfolio. Like, it's so multifaceted and there's so much to do. It's never a boring day.
I agree. It's not your 9 to 5.
No, we're not at our desk. And I think if I was sitting in front of a computer all day at a desk, I don't think I'd be happy.
100% agree.
Yeah. So, Roxy, what's the future looking like for us as a sales team?
I'd say it's looking pretty bright, Mitch. We've got a lot of good things planned for the rest of the year. Meeting new people, getting more deals done. It's all looking very exciting.
Yeah, growing as a team. We've got some good events to help people sort of look at downsizing from the house, how they can present their home and market it and do it in a way that's going to be cost effective and achieve the right sort of outcome. So I think 2025 is looking awesome.
Exactly, 100%. And, looking great to see all of our clients achieve great results and, just really be happy and celebrate with them and,
yeah,
make the most of it.
All right, let's get back to it, hey?
Let's get back to it.